Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. And inch by inch and row by row, someone blessed these seeds I sow, and someone warned them from below till the rains come tumbling down.
Guys, a long time no see. I'm gonna build another raised bed because first I wanted to show you what the wind did. We had some wicked winds the other night, and it took this whole branch down, which I'm gonna have to cut up and get out of here. Well, I use a bunch of it for firewood, but I'm gonna wait for all the leaves to fall off of it because I'm gonna use the leaves in the garden anyway, so they'll be right here. And then I'll be able to see what I'm doing a lot better. So that's where it's going to sit for the time being. But I got to clean my hen house out, and I don't want to handle all that stuff twice. So I'm going to build another bed. And this is in fact the raw materials. They're 2x10, two 10-foot 2x10s, and one 8-foot 2x10s. So it will be 10 by 4 feet. $20 for the lumber, which is ridiculous, but that's what you got to pay. And I got torque screws, 3.5-inch torque, 3 3/4-inch torque screws to put it together with. And I'm just going to turn, I'll break this video up as I go along. I'm certainly not going to put you through the mundane parts of it, but this is what I'm starting with. I'll create this box. I'll lay newspapers down all on the bottom, wet them good, and then I will start layering in straw, leaves, compost, old manure, and I'll layer it in, layer it in, layer it in. Then when I get about 6 or 8 inches from the top, actually it'll be like a loaf of bread. It'll mound up in the middle because it'll all settle. But when I get about 6 inches from the top, then I'll finish it off with a mixture of about 60% compost and 40% garden soil, or something like that. It's all, you can switch around the percentages. It'll all work. And that should heat up enough, so that it'll start the composting process. Plus there's a million worms under here. And it should be primo by next spring. My intentions is to fill this whole area in here with more beds. And I got room for, right here, for 6 more 4 by 10 foot beds, which is what I'm going to eventually put here. Gardens, as you can see, is pretty much wrapped up. The peas that I planted lately, this one showed up from, I don't even know, it just showed up here in this deal. All the onions have been harvested except for these little ones. Rhubarb's about done. Everything's done. But these peas that I planted late, now I didn't have enough seeds to really plant it like I usually did. They're just starting to flower. And here's another one out here in the middle of nowhere. But everything's pretty much wrapped up. I'll pull all these tomato plants out of here now. Now I'm starting the real cleanup. I have nothing left to harvest except for squash, pumpkins, and these are the broccoli plants that I left to go to seed. And if you can see this, these are the seed pods right here. And I'll wait till this is all done, and later on in the fall, when it's all dead and dry, then I'll harvest all these seeds from here. This is obviously open pollinated. Everything I planted was open pollinated. And oh yeah, I still got some carrots in here to pull. But they're fine where they are for the time being. This bed got overgrown, and I really should have. You know, I didn't thin out a lot of these carrots, but they're nice. That'll give you some idea about the size. Now I'm probably just going to eat this one as I speak, and I'm still getting tomatoes off my salad bar. You can see them all. Every time I come by, for the last 2 months, every time I walk by here, I've been eating tomatoes. All right, I'm going to get to work, and I'll shoot some more segments for this video as this thing goes along. All right, later on. This is first layer is old grass and leaf combination. And you can see that I put the newspaper down and wet it really good. I'll wet it real good between every layer as I continue to labor it. The next layer that's going in will be old manure. Wet it, and then probably some compost and wet it. Or I may put straw after that. I don't know. You know, like I said, anything will work. You just keep building it up and layering it and building it up and layering it. But you want to have a good mix of a green material, which is live manure, or, you know, to start the process going. There's other additives you can get for over to you, the dark, you know, up in farm country. You can go to your greenhouse supply or whatever, and you can buy compost starter, or, you know, fish emulsion works real well. Anything that you could add that's organic and that will start those microorganisms doing their job. But if you combine the materials correctly, it will start on its own. But anything you can do to speed it up. A lot of my grass in the pile over there that I've had building for some time is kind of clumped up, and I think what I might do is get my mower out and just spread a bunch of it around and mow over it so it'll mulch it up really good, and then add it. The finer the material, the faster it's going to compost as well. So if you have that option, it's a really good idea. And I decided, instead of using the hose, I had 50 gallons of compost tea here, and I have to use this up before it freezes anyway. So I decided to use that to wet between my layers instead of using the hose. But you can see how it's well, it's dark like tea. So that will really help to get things working as well. That concentrated nitrogen. But I've gone through now, I guess I used about 250 gallons probably of tea on the gardens this summer. And for those of you who haven't seen in my old video, this rig right here seats down inside to this point where these bolts are going through, and then I put this, you know, big clumps of manure in there, and then the rain comes out of the gutter and comes down through and fills this up, and then I put a hose on it and trickle feed. You know, I can reach all the way down there to my farthest plant, which is a really good deal if anybody's got the option of doing that. All right. Okay, I thought I'd shoot this. I'm about halfway done. And so far, just to recap, I put a layer of paper down, wet it, and I put a layer of grass clippings. Then I put a layer of all the droppings and the wood shavings and that stuff from inside the hen house. And then I put a layer of compost. And then I put another layer of grass clippings. And that layer that you're looking at there is compost as well. Now I think I'm going to put another layer of grass clippings, and then another layer of compost on top of that, and then when I dig everything out of the pen, the chicken pen, when I dig all that in, then I'll top it off with that. And I'm going to be adding garden soil throughout this continuing processes. And this is going to be a killer bed come spring. All right. Okay, I'm getting ready to put a layer of old manure and I screen it. Actually, I do this for all the manure that I use, whether I put it in directly on the beds or put it in a compost or anything. It really doesn't take much time. You see a lot of it's in big clumps. And anything you can do to help the earthworms and the microbes out, breaking this stuff down ahead of time, it's to your advantage. As you'll see, the end product is a nice, it's very workable, nice stuff. And it's pretty much all broke down, so it'll start its composting activities quicker. And it's nice to work with when it's screened out like this. So just another tip. My girlfriend just walked out and pointed it out to me that we are being chemtrailed. This is the first time that I've seen any chemtrails all summer. I think that they lay off because we're in the breadbasket of the world, you know, so they let everything, crops come to fruition, the corn and beans and so forth. And I guess they figure that that is about done, so they can start chemtrailing again. If you can see over there where they've gone back and forth several times, I'll keep an eye on it as the day goes and shoot some more video, bastards. I guess I'm going to have to buy the aluminum resistant Monsanto seeds. Okay guys, I'm done for today because I'm flat ass out of gas really. And everything else from here is going to be just more of the same. I just wanted to take a moment and I'm done. From now on it'll be nothing but garden soil and compost till it's filled up more than to the top. And then I will let it set for the winter and plant it out in the spring. I might make another one here next week or something. Because I still got a lot of materials. I haven't even got into that other pen. But anyway, my girlfriend over there, she's frowning at me because she doesn't like me to take a picture.
Row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All that takes
anyway, I'll be out there in a second. I just want to take a minute and say thanks to all my new subscribers. I really appreciate it. I'm slowly getting everything straightened around. I feel like I'm back to normal now that I have made Mike 52 back online. And I don't know, I had all kinds of things to say. Now I can't think of anything, but I'll go ahead and throw this in a video and try to get it out tonight. See.
Find my way in nature's chain.